Good evening, beautiful people.
Or good morning.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Depending on when you're listening to the pod, that's Dion Parker. I'm Corey Mose. We're back. Mose Knows another season
Another
because we have a
season.
new football season upon us. Number one versus number three, Texas versus Ohio State. Ay, ay, ay. Can you believe it? We're already here, Dion.
Yeah, man. It seems like it's been so long. It's been so long. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Fantasy season, college football season, NFL season. It's a great time. It's a
Yeah,
great
man.
time.
And we got a great show for y'all too. We got two interviews for you. One, Ryan Watts, former Longhorn, also former Buckeye. He got to experience both sides of this matchup while also experiencing the NFL for a little bit. He was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so we talked to him later on in the pod. And also Nicole Shearin from WBNS or Channel 10, I'd like to say, in Columbus, Ohio. She covers Ohio State. So we have a new segment where we're going to go over enemy lines and kind of get the insight of what the opposing team is talking about and what the theme is. And so I'm grateful to have Nicole hop on as a friend and give us that insight about what the Buckeyes are talking about when facing UT. But to start things off, though, Dion, like as always, bro, how you been? It's been a long wait. It's been a long little hiatus for Mose Knows. And so what you been up to?
Nothing much. I've been working with some content creators. I've been helping film some content for some people for their podcast. Been working on trying to grow my brand as well. And yeah, just been still grinding on trying to get into the cybersecurity field. But what about yourself, my brother? I know you stay busy
Hey,
24
bro.
7.
You know how it go, bro. No sleep over here because I'm trying to build my brand too. We just got bought out, by the way, our TV station. So
Is that good or bad?
um, we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. We're all just like, well, all right, we're here today. Let's see if we're here tomorrow. So that's kind of how the vibe is. So because of that, I'm grinding on TikTok. I know you peep it, bro.
Yeah, for
Doing my
sure.
thing on TikTok.
I'm sure everybody has seen a Corey Mose flick within this
Hey,
year.
you know what I'm saying? Grinding up to try and get to that 10K. Almost there. So if you're listening, go ahead, follow not just Mose Knows on TikTok, but also follow Corey Mose on TikTok and Dion Parker because he's also trying to get his stuff up as well as a content creator. But yeah, so just trying to build my brand on TikTok, on IG. A lot going on over here in the Mose household. Of course, covering the number one team in the country. Super excited about that. But yeah, so let's just get into it. Texas versus Ohio State. Our first interview was with Ryan Watts, like I said, former DB for the Longhorns and for Ohio State. So it was cool to get that kind of duality of the two, and talking about the programs, but then also talking about certain players on the teams. So I hope y'all enjoyed this interview, and then we'll be right back at you after this. All right, beautiful people. We're now joined by someone that is kind of perfect for this conversation. Former Longhorn, but also people may forget former Buckeye as well, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. My friend, it's kind of cool that I can call you that now. Ryan
Yeah,
Watts, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Hope everything's good on your end. How's it going?
I appreciate y'all for having me, bros. I feel like this was perfect to be able to join this. Everything's been smooth, man. Just out enjoying myself, really just trying to do what I can in this world, man.
Yeah, I know you're living life and doing things in Arizona right now, dry
Yeah.
heat. So
Oh
good
yeah.
luck with that over the summer.
Yuck.
So yeah, I know for sure. God bless you and your air conditioning unit. So hopefully that's at full blast right now. But
Oh yeah.
I know everyone's on full go right now when it comes to this game, right? Everyone's talking
hmm
about Texas, Ohio State. Perfect way to kick off week one.
hmm
Just for you personally, what were those week one games like for you? You don't got no preseason like you got the experience in
Yeah.
NFL. You just go right into it. So what is that like for y'all?
I say, man, it's just full nerves. Like just from time when you start summer workouts all the way through. We're preparing for the game. You're watching film on the first opponent, the first three opponents, really. But especially with it being a big game, I feel like my if I that was me personally, my adrenaline would be going crazy. Like how I said one of my biggest games for adrenaline wise when I was at Texas was when we played Bama. So I'm just imagining you playing Ohio State. They won a Natty last year. It's the first game of the season. Like, oh, I would be going crazy, like just electric. You don't want, but then you don't want to be too excited because then the first couple games is gonna be hot, and it's gonna be hot in Columbus because when I was there, our first games was still hot over there. So you don't want to be catching cramps and all, just overexcited and everything. But I say after the first couple of snaps, they're gonna settle in. But I just know everybody's locked in for real, bro. That's crazy and like a blessing though, because the atmosphere gonna be crazy. You got all the hype, first game of the season. Like I'd say everybody probably be extremely excited for this and locked in for real.
Yeah, we was talking to Malik earlier this week, and he was saying he was trying to tell the freshman Grayson Littleton. He
Oh
was
yeah,
like, "Look, bro, it's going to be crazy, but just stick to what you do.
yeah.
That's the best advice he could give him. Like, do what you do. And
Hmm.
once you get out there, of course, it's going to be loud screaming, but if you just do what you do, everything will be calmed down. So you kind of spoke on it though, like you said, the first game at Ohio State is usually kind of hot out there, and so I
Yeah.
just want to touch on your time at Ohio State and Texas. Is
Hmm.
there any similarities between the two programs? Because both programs are very successful. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
successful programs around the nation have some type of similarities that carry over.
Shoot, I was blessed. I was able to go from one top program to another top program. Big city, Columbus, big city, and the only football team is a college team. Then Austin, only college team was Texas. Everybody loves you in the city. The organization is got a big history. I feel like I was the biggest part really with the coaches because Coach Day. I had Coach Dan, Coach Sark. I think personally like the offensive minded and how aggressive they might be, because I always said, especially when Ohio State lost last year, I was like a pissed off Coach Day is he's something, and that's when he came in. But I also said the same thing about Coach Sark. I'm pissed. I've seen it both ways. I saw Coach Sark. I saw Coach Sark with Bama when he was pissed off, and we came out for that game. And I saw Coach Day when he was pissed off and he's talking about Clemson, and they came out that game for Clemson. So I've seen it both ways. So I don't know, bro. It's a crazy thing, but just blessing. And then I'd say like just the program, the way they go about themselves, like it's business at both programs. It's not nothing to play about. Like there's people behind you that came before you that did it the right way, and they're all in the league, and there's gonna be people coming after you, all the top players in the country. So I just think the way they went about everything, like it's definitely a business, and but it's like a big tradition also. So just everything, just the whole surroundings with football, it's a high story program for both in every way.
And we're talking about a scary sight, Ryan. Jeremiah Smith is nothing to play with. How would you talk about how they covered him last season?
Mhm.
I guess the whole nation into what Texas may do to slow him down or stop him completely.
Well, I think I see from what I saw from TV, it looked like, and it's usually a more effective way. 'Cause that's what we ended up doing in the league. Like I saw they do that in the league for top receivers, just moving the strong side of the zone. So we want to get zone, make sure you got eyes on quarterback, eyes on the receiver, and just heavy priority on where is Jeremiah Smith. And I thought that's what they did last year. So I definitely that's what they're gonna have to do again this year, because that's a boy dog right there. He got my respect. And DB, like he got my respect. He a boy dog, man. But just really gonna have to get zone eyes and get eyes on that eyes on him and quarterback, especially with him being a young quarterback. So he might be able to throw you one. So that's just the reality of it with young quarterbacks.
Yeah, you talk about having your respect already. What is it about Jeremiah that makes you have that respect so early?
Just he's like a Julio in college. Like I
Yeah.
don't like he's big, fat. Usually, like when I was playing, I was like they'd be like, who you would you rather guard? I'd be like, I'd rather guard the 6'3" receiver because they're not as fast. They could just, I mean, they might be fast, but they're not as quick.
Yeah.
But him, shoot, I wouldn't, man. He quick, he fast, he got strong hands. Like he got my respect. That's hard to get my respect, but he got my respect. So you gotta give it where it's due.
And when you
Okay, so I'm
say when you say go ahead, Corey.
no, you got it. Yeah, you straight.
Okay, when you say zone eyes, I'm guessing no man coverage is what we're hearing.
I mean, no, you gonna have to switch up. You can't play zone all the time, but you gonna have to put your bet. We're gonna put your best. You're gonna put a best corner on there, and you might show a little help, but it's really all him. You might give him just slight help, but I know if we put Malik on him, I know he gonna take it hard. So it might not. It's not gonna be like some heavy, but you gonna have to show. You are gonna have the shadow. He's just out of respect, but. We gonna put our man on him too. It's really at the end of the day for real, like man on man. Might have a little bit of help. That's just out of respect though, because he earned it for real. So I just believe you gotta put your best man on him and shadow help.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought this up. All right, because I talked to Malik in the press conference earlier this week. We had
Mm,
availabilities, and I asked him straight up, like, "All right, bro, as a DB, do you like to follow or do you like your side of the field?" He said, "I like to follow." All right,
yeah.
and so this was after someone asked him, "Have you told PK that you can handle Jeremiah Smith 1-on-1?" And Malik, you know how it goes when
He gonna
availability is.
say,
Y'all try to be like, very political with your
yeah.
answers. But if you listen, he tells you things. And so Malik's like, I'm not going to discuss what PK and I talked about, but to that extent, yeah, it's something like that. Like I told him something like that. So the fact that
Mm,
he's saying he told PK he can handle him 1-on-1, and he also told me that he likes to follow guys, gives me the assumption of that may be the type of game plan that Texas is going in here with.
oh
Um,
yeah.
but one thing Malik said was like, if he's going to follow, it can't disrupt the coverage. And so, can you kind of explain a little bit what that really means, at the sense of like, if you're going to follow, you don't want to mess everything else up in the coverage. What does that kind of mean in the football terms?
Well, basically just following him and then compromising somebody else, like
Mm.
just because we usually don't. We just played. I'm not sure they do it anymore though. We play boundary and field, so just him
Yeah.
moving over and then putting somebody else somewhere where they're not comfortable and usually at, and just changing the whole communication because now you got a whole different person. So I know when I was there, we just did field and boundary. I'm not sure they did that last year, but yeah,
I
that's really
believe
the
they did
main
with
the
Jade on
main
the other side.
yeah, okay. So that's one of the main parts is bringing somebody out of their comfortability of where they usually are and just communicating with a whole different person.
Okay. I thought that was very interesting because I've just never
Yeah.
seen anybody follow. If I remember, at least the 3 years I've been here, I don't never seen a DB just follow somebody around. But to me, this would be the matchup to do it.
Yeah.
Because you have Malik and you have 100% Malik, where there's been no other games to kind of wear that body down. And let me know from your perspective, is this a game where you go in? Could you know about the scouts? These are the game scouts look at. You
Mm.
go against other NFL players, and so is
Yeah.
this a game where maybe Malik is like, let me follow, so I can show the scouts what I can do against this people assume the number one pick in next year's draft?
I mean, really, knowing Malik, he's really just gonna be coming with that, and he's a competitor. He loved the challenge, so he's not gonna really think too much, but he know what it is.
Hmm.
But I just know he gonna give it his all, and he's not gonna back down from nothing. That's just a competitor in him too. So if he can follow, then he gonna follow. But I assume it's not gonna be like it's not usually like a every down thing. It's just
Yeah.
like certain situations. But for the majority of the part, you'd really want to get zone eyes, and then just send that rush because we got a rush now, so you don't have to be in man coverage. We got some dudes on the line, so you don't have to. You can be in zone, get your eyes on quarterback, and he's a young quarterback. He might throw you the ball. Like, come on. And then
Yeah.
they might force. And then if he wants to force a Jeremiah Smith because he's a dog, so you get zone
Hmm.
eyes. You got multiple people watching. Like that's really what the main thing. So he might throw you one that way.
Okay.
That leads perfectly
Dion.
into the next question. Is that do you think that's the game plan for this young QB for Ohio State?
Well, the
Keep
shoot, I just know if I was a young quarterback and I wanted to bail out, I'm gonna throw it to the best receiver. But he do got, I forgot they do got a lot of other dudes too. But it's
They're not
Jeremiah
like
Smith
Jeremiah
too.
though.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's one thing to have like Abuka on the other side of you, but now you got some dudes that maybe not aren't first round. I mean, Abuka win the first round. You know what I'm saying? So
who's
like,
not the other Ohio State receiver is not. You said you might not.
who is he? Are you talking about Tate?
Yeah,
Is that who?
he gonna
Is
be.
that the
He
other receiver?
going. I think he going first. He
You think
going
he on
first round.
first?
He going first round too. But
Okay,
and you went to
okay,
Ohio State and you put up numbers at Ohio State like. And then coach going about like you was under coach Hartline, like you gonna be good. Like you gonna be good.
okay. Can you let us know a little bit about Heartline? Like, what makes him special? Because we clearly see the production in the league,
Yeah.
but what makes it so effective?
Man, I don't know, bro. Like that's one I can't really I don't know. He just get the job done. I would like to give you a better answer, but really he just be getting the job done. I guess because I didn't really get to pay attention to him too much, but I just know whatever he's been doing, it just work. That's all. Like whatever he
Say
do, it
less.
just work. Yeah.
Say less. I got one for you though. Taking me. Let's go back to the young quarterback conversation, right?
Mm.
Taking me into the room with you and PK leading everything. when he talks about attacking a young quarterback with the game plan. I know you kind of had a taste of that when y'all played Alabama. You mentioned it earlier, and that was a young Jalen Milroe. And
Yeah.
so what was kind of like the idea? Is it the let's put a lot of pressure on him and make him think fast? Is it the let's sit back and let him give him less options? Like, what is the mindset with PK behind attacking young quarterbacks?
You definitely want him to think fast. And then he knows who he has on the defensive line. This is going to send pressures with some eyes. And shoot, and then with young quarterbacks, we know they might look they're not equipped yet to look off, or I don't know. Some do come like that, but you want to find out. So he might stare down a receiver, and it's gonna be his first game. Might be jittery, and it's gonna be at the first home game, big game. So he might be just trigger finger with it. So who knows? But you definitely want to in the beginning of the game get eyes on, get that pressure, and see if they can get in his head. Because if you get in the head, then it's a whole nother game. But you definitely
Yeah,
don't want to make it easy for him.
I felt
You know,
like that was
like
the way with Milroe.
yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
well,
Milroe
Milrow, we
definitely
had to
rushed him.
watch. We had to watch for the run too, because we
Yeah,
knew he had some legs on him.
That's a
yeah,
crazy first game, big game.
Oh,
You
Ohio State
play,
for
yeah,
Texas. Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy. I don't know. That's crazy. I would
that's
be pumped. I'd
that's
be
something you
nervous. I'd be pumped. Like I'd have everything going through.
that's something you would see in, I guess, college football 26, huh? Just who would have
yeah.
thought? Who would have thought first game? You know,
Yeah, that's something I'll be doing on the video game. I'll be making my first
Custom
like not in
schedule.
real life.
No, for real though.
that got to
Hey,
be a lot
bro.
of pressure.
Oh, yeah, let's get a little fun though. I want to ask you about your experience at Texas and like your road environments because that's been a talk this week. Texas, they just been dominant on the road ever since that loss to Oklahoma State and Quinn's first road start. It's been undefeated in all true
Mhm.
road games since then. You've been a part of that run as well. And so, what was your favorite road win? And then talk to me about the locker room afterwards. What was the locker room atmosphere like?
I mean, it's easy. When we played Bama, that was turned. Like we was turned. That was a cool game. And then just being in that stadium, I had like it's crazy when you on the field, like everything just slows down and then like you just take everything in. It was so crazy. Like I definitely enjoyed that game. It was loud. The fans behind you heckling you. It was fun. So I say that game. I had a good game that game too. So that definitely
Mm-hmm.
that game and in the locker room. Should we turn in the locker room? You know, everybody want to play take walk in your trap, take over your trap. So everybody want to play that. And then we had cigars that game. I don't know where the hell they brought the cigars from. We had cigars that game. So that was turnt, man. It's a good feeling. And then you get back on the plane. You cracking jokes. Like it's just cool. It's just I definitely like the away games. The away games was cool. Like it's just a little brotherhood. Like you got to bond together
Yeah.
because it's you against everybody. So I definitely love that game.
So, bro, you just turn around and the cigars there? That just
Bro,
someone just gave you.
around the locker room. We had cigar. I don't know who brought cigar, but we was smoking the cigars. I
Somebody,
don't know who that was the thing.
somebody snuck it in their bag.
Had a cigar. Like they just knew we was gonna win too. So they had the cigar. Like shit. That was turn. I see that. Like okay.
That's a
That's
vibe.
live. That's a vibe.
Yeah.
That's a
That's a
vibe. What's
vibe.
up,
Yeah.
D?
That's a way to win a. That's a way to win a big game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was cool.
yeah. You mentioned just being able to have that vibe with the brothers, and just bonding together on the road. A lot of it, y'all used to say like y'all still kind of say it, us versus the world mentality.
Yeah.
What are those road games like? How do y'all get into that mindset of like let's bunker down, lock
Yeah.
arms, and this is us against everybody in the stadium.
I definitely say it's crazy with Texas because, Ohio State, everybody look up like, you're the best. They've always been the best. Texas has some down years, so Ohio State it was everybody's always been the best. But when I came to Texas and they played, we was in a team meeting in the summer and we was talking about the disrespect. And they played, who was it? It was I think it was a game, but it was like the year before I got there. It was Kansas State some team, Kansas State or Iowa State, and they had the horns down all up in the player's face. I was like, what? So then I just got to quit. I'm like, they really coming like that, like just running up to you with horns down, like just disrespectful. So then I just seen that now. I was a part of it. I'm like, damn, people really coming at you with that horn. I started taking some little effects. And I'm like, man, like just horns down all over in your face. It's just disrespectful. Like I was like, okay, so that kind of turns you up for real when you see that and everybody's doing it. So it makes it even easier because it's really you against the world because everybody is putting you down and they got a signal for you too. So I just felt like just everybody seeing that, you got the headphones locked in, like it's just us. It's us and all the hate. So you gotta come together. So then it's really just it builds up. And it builds up that what I say. I'd say build up that momentum to get excited for the game. So you just already know. You already get in that mode, getting you locked in for that mode.
What do
It's
you think
game
that?
time.
What do you think that is? I feel like Texas is the only one that gets heckled like that when it comes to the
I
horns,
mean,
man.
it's
I don't.
easy
It's
too.
in
It's
all sports
easy.
too.
It's easy though, because it's like we got a sign. You just put that down. Like that's so easy. I can't really think of another college you could do something like that too, and it just wouldn't look right because our brand.
Yeah.
We got the number one brand. It's what our brand. It's just everything. It's a perfect storm with the brand. It's how our signal is. It's everything, and it's just a perfect storm to try and heckle us. But I feel like that's respect to Texas because we built up so much in the brand.
But the
Everybody
brand.
got an easy way to try and mock us, but they want to be you.
Hey, y'all shut a lot of people up. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say that. Let me know, bro. When you're watching this game, what are you looking at? What are you watching? What are you looking forward to seeing?
I be watching the DBs, man.
Okay.
I be watching the DBs, trying to make sure don't give them any big plays because you want to. Another reason, young quarterback, you want to see if he can march down the field. I mean, we got a D line, so it's gonna be hard to just march down the field without making a mistake. So you want to try and force that, keep the ball in front of you. So I'm just looking to make sure they're doing things like that. And I be looking for the techniques and just things that people don't really think about. And then when I see things, I just imagine myself in that situation and just seeing how I would react and shoot, really just I don't know. I just say how I react, how I would be in certain situations. But I definitely be looking at defense. But for Ohio State and Texas though, 'cause I still got a lot of love for Ohio State. 'Cause I
Yeah.
mess with Coach Day heavy, bro. That's my guy, man. Coach Day is my guy.
Okay. Why is that? What could I was
He
able to listen to him. Okay, go. Yeah, let me know.
Coach Coach Day he just got a lot of my respect, man. He was one of the men. He wanted me like when I was trying to leave, he was a main. He almost I almost stayed just because of him because he wanted me to
Mm.
stay. So he got a lot of my respect for that, and he fought a lot for me through my time there. And I just respect him. Like he's a cool person. Like he gets like you can get along with him, and it's just like Coach Sark. Like I had the perfect. I had it perfect. I had Coach Sark and Coach there. I play on get no better. Like them dudes, I'm too cool ass dudes, bro. Like I was so like every time everybody that like even my scouting process, I was like I was lucky. I had Coach Sark and Coach Day, two great coaches. I got a lot of respect for both of them, and both of them get along with their players heavy, and both of them funny as hell, man. I say both of them funny, bro.
Dang, I want to meet him. What a great guy! It's the best hype man in the world.
Cause bro, I'm thankful that I had both of them. It's just endless respect. I'm thankful I had both of them. I feel
Yeah.
like
What
I've
about
heard from
Sark?
other people's coaches, and it's like, ooh, like I can't relate. I can't relate.
What was it about Sark? Because I feel like Sark has come to Texas and has just grasped everybody's respect, but also just love. I feel like all the guys just love playing for Sark. So what is
Yeah.
it about him that kind of gets everybody to buy in?
Those Wednesday meetings that we had, just him being real about his past and everything and how he relates with people, and he's really trying to take care of you and look out for you. And then he could just get along, like he's not just some corny coach. Like he generally get along with you, and when we joking around, like he'll generally get along with you too. And just definitely how you look out for people too, because with having the experience and then just being able to look out for people and lead them in a better path. So he's definitely
Mm.
got real love for you and wants you to be better in life. So that definitely.
Yeah, that's something Jade mentioned. Like Sark has
Oh
kind of
yeah,
made him into just a better person,
yeah.
not just on the field but off the field, just as a man. And
Mm-hmm.
so, it's cool to hear those things, but you never know. Like just from the outside looking in, I just see y'all getting better on the field. We don't
Yeah.
get to see what's going on in y'all's everyday lives, so it's cool to hear that he's affecting that as well.
Because we bought
Well,
that
last,
business, and then Coach Beckton too, though he helped a lot in that
mm,
too. Coach Beckton too, building that in the off season, the stuff we was doing in the off season, it builds you up for that. So it's like having him and then going to Coach Sark. It was just it helped perfectly.
What's the Wednesday meeting for anybody that don't know?
It's damn. I've been 2 years out. Wednesday. It's the Wednesday. We had a saying for it, but basically, you just get to know your teammates better, sharing personal things. And you might,
Okay.
it's like a group. It'll be a group of y'all. It'll split you in a group, and we'll go to different rooms, and we'll just share personal things, goals you might have, things you went through in the past, and you get to learn a lot about people, like stuff I didn't know about some of my teammates. You get to learn, and you understand their why for real, and what they had to go through, and what they want to see for themselves in the future. And it's just a good way to open up and get emotional. And like when you break down and get emotional, you just build yourself back up and harder together. So
Yeah, I wanted to ask you as a man, if we're being real, it's hard for us to be transparent. And
facts.
so, how many weeks, or is it just week one, y'all all just open up, or does it kind of take some time for people to kind of release that wall down?
Probably it definitely depends on your intentions too. But
Mhm.
it probably it takes some time. But the first week isn't something that's crazy. Like first week will be uh just so, like your goals for the season or something.
Okay,
Goals for the
okay. Is it
season and
structured
then
like that? Do they have a question topic
yeah,
for?
yeah,
Okay,
they do.
okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, and especially if you got one person that shares something very real intimate, it just opens up the room for everybody else.
Yeah, you need that one catalyst for everybody to be
Yeah.
like, okay, like this is a safe space. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that must have been great to just hear from your brothers, the one that you got to line up with
On
on the
me,
field. Yeah,
that's
now
what
you just
I like. We didn't have that at Ohio State, so I like that coming here at Texas. That was cool.
that's awesome. Last question for you. I know you got to go. And I waited all conversation to ask this Arch. What have you seen from him when you had to go against him in practice?
Yeah.
And you're smiling. What makes you kind of like excited to see him get out there?
Because I told all the scouts this one story about how he went against 1D his freshman year. It was a scrimmage, and he split us right down the middle and took it like 70 or 80 yards for a touchdown, just right down the middle. I mean, granted, we were in man coverage, so we didn't really get to see him. But when we turned around, we were like, he was sliding. I think he hit like 22 miles per hour. I was like, what? An athletic Manning? So when I seen that, bro, so that he's got some wheel. I be telling you, he got wheels. And then so when I saw him last year, he puts that ball on the dot, like where it's got to be. He's got a nice arm, so I think it's gonna be perfect for him. I think he's gonna do great things this year.
I'm really interested to see how Sark uses those wheels.
Mm.
Does he use them in the red zone? Does he try to do like Tim Tebow esque in the red zone and do stuff like that, short yardage? Or are you going to try to
As a
protect the quarterback?
as a fan now, I want him to protect the quarterback. I
Okay.
don't really want him. Me personally, I don't know what he gonna do, but I think he need to protect the quarterback. I feel like Arch for this game, cause I've been seeing a lot. I feel like he might run and then he might take a hit. So I need him to not take a hit too when he escaped the pocket. I feel like, especially last year, he was trucking people.
We're
I
trying to
feel
run
like
over people,
last
bro.
year, but now he need to chill. He need to chill. I was like, chill,
Against
bro.
A&M, bro. That boy said, "Let me get this touchdown real
I was
quick."
like, what? I was yelling at the screen, bro. I was in Pittsburgh. I was yelling at the screen. I was like, ooh. Oh, bro.
And it got everybody hyped, that's for sure. But it's
Yeah.
just a little taste of what it could be. And so yeah, I heard he can move, bro.
Oh,
But
yeah. He got.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
he keeps telling us that his grandfather calls him, and it's like you got two options: get down or get out of bounds. When you take off, like those are your only two options. Do not take a hit. And so it's great advice, especially from
Mm-hmm.
Archie. But if
Yeah.
you want to be lasting long the whole season, it's a long
Facts.
season. So definitely want to keep him healthy. But Ryan, thank you, bro, for just hopping on, talking
Oh,
with
yeah.
us, chopping it up with us. You're always welcome on
Appreciate you.
Mose Knows, bro. Really
Okay.
appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
man.
And I hope you're doing well out there in AZ, doc.
Appreciate y'all, man. Doing good. Trying to go day by day, but I appreciate y'all.
Trying to stay
Always.
cool out there, brother. I know it
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
easy.
The AC bill going crazy.
Well, that was dope. Ryan was great as usual. First time actually talking to him on a podcast, so it was cool. He seemed natural. Maybe a
Yeah,
little broadcast
seems
future.
like he already knows. Seems like he already knows. Knows how to do the podcasting thing. So
Yeah.
potentially, yeah, great
Somebody
interview.
get that man a mic, bro. Get that man a mic. What was your favorite part about that combo?
I loved your question about the similarities in the program. I love how he spoke about both coaches. You can tell that he really enjoyed his time at both programs, and I love the similarities. They're both passionate coaches. They both know how to connect with their players, and they both care deeply, not just about the player but about the human being. But yeah, that was like, wow. Okay, so there's similarity at these big time programs, and it starts with the coaches. But what about you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to me was one of the receivers that he talked about. Of course, everyone knows Jeremiah Smith, but he talked about Carnell Tate, him being a dude. And I think with Ryan, he got to go against him in practice, so he knows. And that was when Carnell Tate was young. And so if he got to see this talent back then, Carnell Tate now is probably first round talent, second round talent. That's what a lot of people are kind of projecting him as. And so if you have Jeremiah Smith on one side, you would think that Texas is going to roll that coverage over to him, which allows a lot of one-on-one matchups with the Carnell Tate or a Brandon Ennis, who our next guest is really high on. I can't wait to hear y'all. I can't wait for y'all to hear what she talks about with Brandon Ennis. But yeah, it's a little segue into that segment. We have Nicole Shearin as we go over enemy lines, talking about Ohio State and that wide receiver core, but also a lot more between the whole team. We're going to start this segment called over enemy lines. We're going to go across the enemy line of whoever Texas is playing. And so we want that insight about the enemy that they're going against. And so to bring all the insight and all the intel, I got my homie, my friend, Nicole Shearin from 10 TV News in Columbus in the building. She got a show to do in like 30 minutes. So thank you for hopping on the pod with us. I know you got to get that show stacked. But for right now, though, let's stack up these two teams, okay? Texas, Ohio State, big time announcement this week. Julian Sayin being the QB1. What have you seen from practice with Sayin, and what are they saying about Sayin about why he should be QB1?
Well, Corey, they're saying a lot about Sayin, but I will say one thing. This QB battle was way closer than I think anybody fully realized. Lincoln Keynotes definitely had a shot, not even a shot, closer than a shot. It was neck and neck for a lot of this. But when I look at Julian Sayin, I mean, I heard about this guy before I even came to Columbus. Everybody knew his name. He has one of the quickest releases I have ever seen from a quarterback in college football. He definitely is young. I think the main concern is that, I mean, Ryan Day said it. He has played a lot of football, and that's slightly concerning when you think about the QB1 that's going to hopefully lead your Buckeyes to another national title. But what I've noticed about all of his guys is, I mean, they've just really rallied around him. They believe in him. They believe in his leadership. I think that was one concern kind of in the offseason, was that when you compare a guy like Will Howard to a Julian Sayin, very different leaders, very different leadership styles. But I think that's obviously part of the game of football. Everybody leads differently. And I really believe that once Ryan Day named him QB1, it kind of made Julian think, all right, I got the reins now and I'm going to roll with it. And Ryan has said, within the past week, Julian's already been a completely different quarterback. He knows he's going to be QB1. It kind of hit him right away of, oh, shoot, this is my game now. This is my team now. I got to step up. I got to, call the shots, make the deep plays, like just ball out there. And I think he's loosened up a little bit because of that. But again, when you have a sophomore as your QB1, I don't expect this game against Texas to be perfect. It's going to be sloppy. He'll probably throw an interception. I'm expecting that fully. But I'm okay with that because I feel like that is what needs to happen for him to kind of find his groove and just get a rhythm out there.
Yeah, me and Corey were talking to somebody else before you, and we were talking about what a way to start your regime at a big infamous college. Has he said anything about how he's preparing? I mean, this has got to be something that you can only dream of. Big game, first game. Has he said anything about anything he's doing differently or just how his preparation has been?
Well, it's funny you guys say that because Ryan Day actually said tonight that this is why you come to Ohio State. This is why you come to Ohio State and want to be QB1, is to play in games like this. Number 1 versus number 3 to open up the season. I mean, you can't write a better story. I will say, though, when you have a team like Ohio State, every single day, Julian is going up against some of the best guys in the country. That is the best way to prepare for a team like Texas. I mean, you're not going to find a defense much stronger. I mean, as you guys both know, Texas's defense is elite, but Ohio State's is pretty up there with them in terms of, prepping for that game. So Ryan Day has always honed in on that these guys, it's iron sharpens iron. The guys talk about it all the time. And I don't really think Julian Sands preparing any differently because he's practiced against these guys every day. And that's kind of prepped him for this moment on Saturday. All I hope is that the lights aren't too bright for him because obviously, you guys just said, it's a top 3 showdown to open up week 1. That's crazy. That's crazy when I say it out loud.
Yeah, it's wild. And, you talked about the dudes that he's going to get up against in practice, arguably the best defensive player in the country, and Caleb Downs. And so having to play him every single day, I'm sure that helps. But I bet it helps that he gets to throw to arguably the number 1 player offensively in the country, and Jeremiah Smith. And so correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, but did Jeremiah say something like earlier in offseason about he wasn't really playing at 100%? Or something like that to that extent, or like he wasn't like fully Jeremiah yet. Like there's still room for growth. Yeah. Didn't he say something like that?
Which is scary.
That's exactly.
For anyone.
That's what I was like, what? What do you mean you wasn't like going all like everything? That's crazy to me. So can you like clarify what do you know what he said?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, Corey. He literally said, like, I haven't even hit my peak yet. Like, I haven't even hit 100% yet, which is absolutely terrifying and should be terrifying for any other college football team. Because I'm not even being dramatic, guys. Jeremiah Smith is hands down not only the best college football player I've ever seen, but I think the best athlete I have ever witnessed with my own eyes. I mean, it's pretty insane, not only his pure skill and talent, but his focus, determination. He is all ball. And you can tell with media availability, with the way he carries himself on the field, after practice, how he interacts with his guys. He's all business. And he wants to prove not only, and I mean, I know you guys remember this, like he wants to prove a statement against Texas on Saturday because the Longhorns shut him down in the Cotton Bowl. I mean, 1 reception for 3 yards. That's not a number I would ever put next to Jeremiah Smith's name. So he's got a lot to prove in terms of like, they shut me down once. I don't want that to happen again.
How often has that come up in availabilities?
Quite a bit, but I think it's because the media brings it up, obviously. Yeah. Like, he's not the one bringing it up because he's very much the kind of guy that's basically like, last year was last year, this year was this year. But you got it. That's got to be, part of the motivation is they shut him down. He doesn't want that to happen again. But I will say, and this is a huge testament to his character and the kind of athlete he is. We asked him, we said, what happens if they double coverage, triple coverage, whatever the Longhorns decide to do to you, what happens if you're just not open? And he said, well, look at the rest of my receiver room. Good luck. Like, it's one of those things where he literally said, quote, my other boys will cook. That's exactly what he said. And I think that is really the definition of this Ohio State roster, is that they're loaded top to bottom. Yes, they have Jeremiah Smith, one of the best college football players in the country right now. But if the Longhorns do shut him down, there's other weapons to turn to.
Yeah,
I was going to ask
some of those.
Exactly. Who are some of those guys that we should be looking out for if Jeremiah is to, get double, triple, quadruple coverage?
Yeah, and I mean, again, I wouldn't be shocked if that were to happen on Saturday. Like, Texas isn't dumb. Yeah, he's the big weapon. You got to shut him down to have a shot. But I got to tell you, I've been on the Brandon Inniss train for a long time. He is a guy who never has really had the spotlight, and this is kind of his moment. And I just think the fact that he was named a captain, he's never started a game for Ohio State. He's named a captain. That not only shows a lot about his leadership, but it shows a lot about how much his teammates believe in him, not only off the field, but on the field. He's going to be scary this season. I also think Carnell Tate is a huge weapon for the Buckeyes. And you saw sparks from him last year. He was definitely a difference maker out there. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. I have no doubt in my mind. Those two guys are going to be scary for the Buckeyes. Like, I know everybody looks to Jeremiah Smith, but I'm telling you right now, I think this is the deepest wide receiver room Ohio State's had in a long time. And as you guys know, it's wide receiver U in Columbus. It totally is. But I also want to hone in on the tight end room. Max Clare, scary. Mm-hmm. That dude, best tight end in the country. And the fact that they got him from Purdue and got him to come over here, I think tight ends isn't something that a lot of people have seen Ohio State really tap into with their offense. Like, you always think of, wide receivers kind of being the stars of the show.
Yeah, Cade Stover a couple years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, you had Cade Stover, but I think we could see another year for Ohio State where that tight end room is going to really cause some problems for some defenses.
Yeah, you spoke about two of those guys that, funny enough, we just got off a conversation with Ryan Watts, former Buckeye and former Longhorn DB, and he mentioned Tate. He said,
Mm-hmm.
Tate's a dude. Tate, he practiced against Tate. Like, he knows what Tate has. But I like Brandon Ennis for you bringing him up because I just got off a podcast with some draft experts, and they were mentioning how Ennis is a guy they're looking out for to rise up the boards this year because he's quick twitch ability in the slot. He's going to be playing that kind of like Jackson Smith and Jigba role, same role that Ibuka played last year. And so everybody that plays that role gets over 1,000 yards receiving for some reason. And so Ennis, to be named captain, I thank you for that context because I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. That says a lot that he hadn't started a game, but he got named captain at the wide receiver position at Ohio State. Yeah, that does mean a lot. So
I will say too on Ennis, which I think is an interesting nugget for people to know, is that he was a quarterback in high school. And I think that in itself you watch him play out there and you see spurts of being that quarterback. He's got really quick feet. Like you said, he's great in the slot. Like he's the kind of guy he's got hops. I mean, like he reminds me of an Emeka Ibuka because of how he plays. And I give a lot of credit to Emeka for that because he learned a lot from him last year. And he gives a lot of credit to Emeka for what he took from last year that he's bringing over this season. So I think Brandon Ennis is getting a lot of talk right now because he was just named a captain, but he almost transferred last year. I mean, this was a dude who could have transferred and gone somewhere else. He was never getting that starting job that he came to Ohio State for, and he could have gone somewhere else. But he decided to wait his turn, and this year he's going to have his moment. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be a problem.
Oh,
and
man,
we've talked a lot about the offense. What about the defensive side? I mean, what should we be? I guess the standout should we be looking for the line corner
outside of Caleb Downs? We know Caleb Downs.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting about this matchup is that Texas and Ohio State are very similar with kind of what happened with their defenses last year. Both lost a lot of guys on the defensive line. I mean, Ohio State lost all of their starters on the defensive line. They have had to completely reshuffle, reload that front. And I think a guy that is going to be an issue is Kenyatta Jackson. He is a dog, like literally DAWG dog. I mean, he's the dog, exactly. He's the kind of dude where he was around last year, like he played, but nobody ever said his name because you had Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, who everybody turned to. This is a guy who now has also waited his turn, is going to have his moment, and is going to be a huge impact on that defensive front. But honestly, guys, I think the defensive unit that's going to be the difference maker is the linebacker room this year for Ohio State, because you've got guys like Sonny Styles, Arbel Reese, Peyton Pierce, James Laurinaitis, who's the linebackers coach for Ohio State, has hyped up Arbel Reese like no other. I mean, he literally said he's an absolute animal, and he's the definition of a linebacker at Ohio State. And, of course, I mean, you guys know Sonny Styles. He was named the Block O. For people who don't know, it's given to, the guy who exemplifies character but also his playing ability on the field. And Sonny Styles switched positions last year. He had to learn that linebacker role. And I think on top of all that, with Matt Patricia as the defensive coordinator, he's really tapping into each athlete's specific skills. Like he's coaching to players' skills. And I think that doesn't happen all the time. Like a lot of the times you have a defensive coordinator who has the defense he wants to call, and he just kind of puts you in place and makes you do what he wants to see. But coming in, he said, I cannot wait to coach a guy like Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Kenyatta Jackson, CJ Hicks, going to be another difference maker this season, I think. They can pull and plug so many guys into those different positions, and each one has a different skill set that I think it's going to really cause problems for quarterbacks specifically. Like, I really anticipate Arch Manning getting a lot of pressure on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him getting confused as well. I mean, Texas has lost 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen. Now, of course, some of that is there's a caveat to that. Like Trevor Goosby started a couple games against he came in against A&M, but he started against Arizona State. He started against Georgia, and Cole Hudson, the guard, he had time to start as a freshman. But that is a question, right? Can Arch process things against a very talented and experienced secondary like Caleb Downs and the boys? But you mentioned Sonny Styles. He's a freak. What position did he – I didn't know he changed into the linebacker role.
He was a safety.
So that's big, like to be able to cover as a linebacker, and they have that safety background. That's huge. One thing you brought up, one, of course, James Laurinaitis, little sprinkle in there. Love that. Love seeing the OH bringing that back to alumni to coach.
Oh
That's
yeah.
awesome. But speaking about coaching, the question has been about Matt Patricia.
Mhm.
Are you bringing him over from the NFL? But you don't want to mess up what's been going on. So I'm interested to know, has he talked about, like, we're just going to keep the things the same and I'm going to have my own little flair? Is he going to kind of just switch up everything? Like, what has been the conversation between, like, last year's defense and a Matt Patricia defense?
Yeah, I actually straight up asked him that, as have other reporters here, because that was a big question. Like, the defense last year, you can arguably say, won the Buckeyes a national title. I mean, that is why, of course, you have to score points to win, but that is what won them a national title in Atlanta. He flat out said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, yes, they had a scheme and they had a plan that worked for these guys. You're going to see similarities, but he's going to add his little MP sprinkles, what I like to call it, like his little zhuzh to it. I mean, that's why they brought him here. He has Super Bowl rings to prove it. He's a defensive genius. He's a great recruiter, and the guys love him. Like, they are obsessed with him. I have never seen players take to a coach so quickly like they've taken to Matt Patricia. And I think that shows a lot about not only his coaching ability, but the way that he really is a player's coach. And I think that goes a long way. And I think that makes players want to play for you and perform well for you. And, I was talking to CJ Hicks the other day, and he was saying that he just couldn't wait for Matt Patricia to get back from vacation because we got to watch film. Like, I want to watch film with my guy. Like, he sits down with these guys one-on-one on his own time and breaks down film. I mean, I'm really a huge fan of his. I think he was a great hire. Ryan Day really knew what he was doing with him. And I know there was some talk at one point of, his past with, in the NFL, and I don't know if he's the right guy, but no, I'm telling you right now, I really think he is. And I think for Texas people, for, Buckeye fans, whoever it is, you're going to see similarities because, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you're definitely going to see, some different shifts to tailor to Sonny Styles and to Caleb Downs and to Kenyatta Jackson. What are they really good at? And he's going to tailor his defense to that.
Yeah, on the flip side, offensively, new offensive coordinator. You losing Chip Kelly, you elevate Brian Hartline, which we all know his track record with wide receivers is ridiculous. But it's different to be the OC now, not just a position coach. And so, first question for me would just be, have they talked about who's calling the plays? Is it going to be Ryan Day or is it going to be Brian Hartline? Have we got that answer?
So we do have an answer. Brian Hartline will be calling the plays for Ohio State. He's going to be up in the box, not on the sideline. But with all of that, Ryan Day has the final say, right? Like, he's going to give the reins to Brian Hartline, but let's just make an example. It's Saturday. Brian Hartline's calling some plays. It's not working. Ryan is kind of like, dude, what's going on? This isn't working. We got to shift it up. Ryan Day will slightly take over because he doesn't want to just see the offense unravel. Yeah. But I got to say, like, and I'm sure you guys have heard too, there's been a lot of slack on, the Buckeyes have a new DC and OC. That's bad news.
I've been one of those guys.
Yeah, and I don't blame y'all for that. I don't blame y'all. People look at that and think, oh my gosh, new on both sides. Good Lord. Like, good luck. But
Literally been me the whole offseason.
Wow.
Literally, I'm him.
Being honest.
I know, I'm him. So, yeah.
I appreciate the honesty, Corey. I love it.
That's right.
But, like, when you think about it, I mean, yes, Brian Hartline has never called plays before. However, he has been around this program for years and years and years. And he has been so in touch with not only this offense, but the wide receiver room, which, if you guys forget, is one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country and is a huge staple of this Ohio State offense. So I feel confident that a guy like Brian Hartline knows what he's doing. Yes. Is calling plays new for him? Of course. Yes. Is there maybe going to be some growing pains with that? No doubt. I'm sure there is. But Ryan Day promoted him for a reason. I fully trust Ryan Day's thought process. And even Chip Kelly has said, that it's a great hire for Ohio State. Brian Hartline has talked about how much he learned from Chip Kelly when he was here. I mean, talk about great minds of the game. I mean, Chip Kelly's at the top of the top. So I think all the hate is just because there's a lot of unknowns. and that's okay. But I think Brian Hartline is more than ready for this job, more than ready for, the opportunity, and more than ready for the responsibility. But yeah, sure, there are going to be some growing pains, but at the end of the day, Ryan Day does have the veto power if he wants to.
Got you.
Got you. This was great, Corey. Anything else? I mean, I know she's
yeah, I know she got a tight deadline. I have two.
No,
I have two. I have two.
Go for it.
I have
You're
two
fine.
more.
I'm not on
Okay.
like 11:10, so you're
Okay.
good.
I'll hurry up. So two more. You talked about a lot of unknowns. The other unknown is the running back room. You lose two guys that are in the league right now, and now you have this transfer from West Virginia, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so what has been the conversation with him? What is his name? My apologies for not knowing the name.
No, you're good.
But like, what does that running back room look like right now?
Yeah, so CJ Donaldson is who you're talking about. Another dog, by the way. He actually played receiver at West Virginia, which I think is super interesting as well. But so I love the running back rooms at Ohio State. I always have. I mean, some absolute legends have come out of there. I think it all starts with running backs coach Carlos Loughlin. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him or have heard his stuff. His coaching style is one of the most unique coaching styles I've ever seen. And I think it's a lot of credit to the kind of guys he produces, because you look back at Quinshon Judkins and Trey Henderson. I mean, that was arguably the best running back duo in the country last year, the 1-2 punch, thunder and lightning. But this year, y'all, I'm telling you, James Peoples and CJ Donaldson, they called themselves Sonic and Knuckles, and I love that, because I think what's really cool about this running back room is each guy has a different skill set and a different thing that they kind of specialize in. And Coach Loughlin, the running backs coach, said, I don't recruit two guys who are the same. What is the point of that? That doesn't add anything to my room. I think CJ Donaldson is going to be great in the backfield. I mean, he's built like a running back. You look at him and you see and think running back. James Peoples is kind of, he's very bouncy, kind of like how Quinshon was, where he kind of like bounces all over the place and just finds the gaps and finds the holes and goes for it. He's quick. He's fast. Both of them incredible blockers, which I think is huge, because we saw it. I mean, Trey Henderson and Quinshon had no problem blocking guys left and right. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the photo of Quinshon like shoving Texas guy's helmet to the ground, basically. I mean, yes, they have a lot to live up to. And I will say on top of that, Bo Jackson is another name that people should remember. He's a freshman. He's very young, but he has a lot of talent. And I think he could also be used some this season to give those guys maybe a break and kind of throw a different weapon in there this year as well. But I know, I mean, I get it. They have a lot to live up to. Quinshon and Trey were huge for Ohio State. But in Carlos Loughlin, I trust. That's what I always go back to. And from what I've seen in practice, these guys are up for the test. There's a reason why they recruited CJ from West Virginia. His numbers were incredible at West Virginia when you look at his stats. And James Peoples has been here for 3 years. Like he's been through the program. He's been through the system. He's waited his turn, and I think he's ready for his moment.
Bo Jackson's a crazy name.
Yeah.
Dude, right? Right?
You have to be great.
Bro, what?
No choice.
I'm never naming my son after an NFL great. What?
I know.
The expectations. And he plays running back? Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Dude, live up to.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, the last thing I just wanted to ask you about, which, I wanted to ask you talked about Trey Henderson. I guess that's for another day. Quick.
No, you're fine, Corey. I have time.
Trey Henderson. Okay, he's popping off. NFL, everyone's talking about him, rising up the draft boards. You got a chance to really be close to him. So what is it about Trey? Maybe that like people who like me who just see from afar, like, yeah, he's electric. Yeah, he's fast. He's making plays on the NFL level. What made you so confident that he would be able to do what he's doing right now in the NFL?
Yeah, I will say I was confident in a lot of these guys from last year succeeding in the NFL, but he was one I was almost positive was going to make an immediate impact. And I think not only is the reason for that just pure skill-wise, when you watch him, he's an incredible blocker. He's kind of a dual threat out there. He's fast. He's quick. He's got great hands. He finds the gaps. He sees the field in a different way than I think a lot of running backs see. But like, when he turns on the jets, see you later. Like he's boom, like he's gone. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember the play from the Cotton Bowl. Like, dude was gone.
Yards.
Yeah. So skill-wise, not surprised one bit. But I gotta say, like, I credit a lot of the kind of person he is. He's really big on his faith. Like he's really, really big on his mindset, on, his faith, and kind of, he was one of the guys who really instilled that within the Ohio State team last year. I'm sure you guys saw that was a really big thing last year. It's a really big thing this year.
Baptizing people.
Yeah, they're
on
doing
campus.
it again. They're doing it again this
That's
September at
crazy.
the very beginning of the month.
And I saw they started a podcast too, talking about their faith.
Yeah.
That's super dope. Texas would never, but like we'll get to that next. But yeah, Texas would never.
No, and
yeah.
I don't know if that's answering your question, but I just think like he's so humble and so dedicated to the sport. I mean, the sport is like his life. I mean, he's living his dream. Like he's fulfilling his dream. He's such a family kid. He's so big on his faith, and I think it's just paying off for him. Like he's the kind of guy where he deserves all of it. Like he really, really does. And I just think he's so mature. Like his football IQ is so mature compared to a lot of guys that, you see playing college football.
Yeah, I had a draft yesterday, and he got taken like a spot before me. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. He was queued up. I'm like, bro, I'm about to get 4th round too. I was like, it's kind of early to take him, so I'm reaching a little bit. So hopefully no one else has this. Nope, someone had the exact same idea.
Cute.
So gotta love fantasy. But last thing for you, we talk about things that Texas never does, and they would never allow us to do. And one thing about that is having one-on-one sit-downs with star players. And so, Dion, if you don't know, Texas, we get access, but we don't get nearly the access that Nicole gets up there at Ohio State. And so she had a little sit-down with Jeremiah Smith to start things off. One-on-one, you're just so blessed. We would never get that with like Arch Manning, anything like that. And so give me one thing that you took away from the one-on-one conversation you had with Jeremiah that maybe you didn't know going into that conversation.
Okay, I have 2 things. Is that okay?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is that this dude doesn't go in-person grocery shopping or to Target or to Walmart or to Trader Joe's. He orders everything online because he cannot go anywhere without being flooded by fans. I mean, that's crazy.
He's a superstar.
And I knew he was a superstar. I asked him, y'all, I said, Jeremiah, like, how has your life changed since you got to Columbus? And he goes, well, I can't go anywhere. He's like, I used to love going out to eat and doing all these things. He's like, I can't go anywhere. Like, I can't go to Target. I can't go to the grocery store. I online shop. I order my food in. Like, I can't go anywhere. So that was just crazy because you think about this 19-year-old football player who is literally the biggest star in college football and cannot go anywhere in Columbus. It's insane. I actually lived that firsthand when he had a signing at Dick's Sporting Goods.
I was about to say, I saw the video.
Y'all,
it is wild.
Ohio was out there.
I mean, it is ridiculous. Dion, if you go see that video,
life can change in 1 year. That's
thousands, bro. Thousands of people.
Yeah.
Just to say hi. Just to say hi to Jeremiah. Not, he's not giving away nothing. I mean, was he doing autographs?
No, he was taking photos, but only with people who had a wristband. So half the people were just like, Jeremiah, oh my God, like yelling at him like it's a zoo. I was like, this is crazy.
That is great. You got to have a wristband to take a pic.
Yes.
Sorry about it. Yeah. Sorry about it. That is crazy. Okay, so you said you had 2 things. So that one thing was that
was one. That was one. So the second one is more ball focused, but I didn't realize this, that at 7 years old, Jeremiah Smith was cut from his football team at 7 years old, which I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know you could cut 7-year-olds from football teams. That's really cutthroat for a 7-year-old, but okay. And he said, yeah, I was cut from my football team at 7 years old, and that's when I completely changed as a player. That's when I said, no one is ever cutting me again. I'm going to be the best. I'm like, that gave me chills because I'm like, dude, you are the best right now. Like, and apparently you're not even 100% yet. I'm terrified. I'm scared.
Scary hours. That's like a Michael Jordan arc right there.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like story. I love that. Like, let's go. 7-year-old Jeremiah Smith meaning business.
This is great, Nicole. Oh my gosh. So much knowledge. Really appreciate you for hopping on. This was awesome.
This was so fun.
Definitely learned a lot for sure. And if you're listening, I hope you learned a lot too, because Nicole knows what the heck she's talking about. Nicole, where can people find you and look at your content?
Yeah, so you can find me. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things at Nicole Shearin TV. I don't know if they can see my name in the bottom corner, but it's kind of hard to spell. But at Nicole Shearin TV is how you can find me.
Okay, awesome, Nicole. Thank you so much for hopping on. And you're just a delight. Can't
Oh,
wait to see you up there on
you're a
Saturday
delight.
at the shoe.
Get on to see us. Let's go. I'm ready.
Woo, let's do this. All right, Nicole. Phenomenal. She knows her stuff, bro. Nicole, thank you so much for hopping on. One thing that stuck out to me though, D, Jeremiah Smith can't go nowhere. That must suck. That must really suck. You can't even go get groceries.
19 years old, you already locked in the crib.
Would you hate that?
Tough. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Like I say, and again, you got to think in 1 year his life changed like that. So there's not even like a slow burn into okay, and slowly couldn't go nowhere. Okay, dang, it's getting a little uncomfortable. One season, a couple months. Now I can't go outside. So yeah, that doesn't seem like the funnest thing. But hey, it comes with it. Comes with being great, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But dang, bro, like I just want to go get a little steak. I can't get a steak dinner. Like I can't go get my 3 for me. You know what I'm saying, from Chili's. Like I'm just trying to get a little grub and chill with the Brodies. But now I can't even go downtown or do nothing. Like that sucks, bro. I don't ever want to get that famous. Ever, bro. So
Yeah.
but
Not the
I mean,
funnest. Not the funnest.
not at all. But he'll get paid for it.
For
soon,
sure.
so.
For sure. But I love that Nicole even talked about the versatility in the running back room. How Ryan basically didn't recruit, or not the Ryan, but the running back coach didn't recruit 2 of the same guys. So she said they have a deep roster in the backfield, and I think that is going to be crucial, especially since he said they're good blockers. Being able to give San as much time as possible back there, I think, is going to be very big in this matchup. But yeah, I think this is going to be a great matchup. Corey, what's your prediction?
Oh wow, we gotta do predictions. I hate putting, but I've been saying this. It's on record already, bro. It's already on record. It's on TikTok, so go ahead and check out the TikTok. But I like Texas by double digits. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do feel like this game, and I'm not like, if anyone's out there listening, this is not the burnt orange Kool-Aid. Like, I'm not just trying to be homering Texas. I truly believe this, that it's going to be just as similar to Michigan last year as we saw them just dominating on defense. Yes, Nicole talked about the receiving core. Yes, Nicole talked about the running backs. But what she also talked about was the question at the most important position on the field, which is quarterback. And so, can Julian Sand do anything against this defense? That's a big question. And a lot of quarterbacks haven't been able to. And the only ones that have been able to are in the league, or Kate Klubnik, who's considered a Heisman favorite. So these are the type of things that, like, yes, they have all these different weapons around the quarterback, but how good is the quarterback? We don't know yet. We'll find out on Saturday. But I trust UT's quarterback more than I trust Ohio State's, and that's why I like Texas by double digits.
Wow. So you took everything Nicole said and said,
yeah, I'm good on it. I'm still going to say you lost 2 coordinators. You got to figure out how you're going to replace the coordinators. I get it.
She didn't convince you at all that it's going
to
be.
Gotcha. I will say this, though. She did convince me a little bit with Matt Patricia and the defense. I liked how she said that the guys are now playing for Patricia. And that says something. The fact that a coach can come in to an environment and have guys gravitate towards him being the new guy, I think is huge. And they already have studs on defense. She mentioned Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. Like, those are dudes. Those are real NFL, like, game changers come this next year. But Texas got those dudes too. So I feel like the defenses kind of negate each other. And that's why I'm saying the Texas offense, to me, will be more productive than the Ohio State offense.
It's going to be all. And so we're counting on the offense in this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the under, though, for sure.
Oh, no, for sure. We're definitely going to check and see what it said, but I'm definitely taking whatever it is. I'm taking the under. I think it's going to be not too many touchdowns in this one. But great first pod, huh?
Bro, glad to be back. Excited to be back. So, yeah, we're going to be doing previews every single week. We also, on the Spotify page, if there's something that pops off that Dion and I just want to talk about, just in the football world or just in the sports world, there will be episodes of that as well. But Mose Knows will definitely be really centered around the Longhorns football season this year because, as you can see, we got a little bit of a network. You know what I'm saying? We know people. Mose knows a lot of people. That's where that comes from. And so we're going to just reach out, continue to get great interviews, hopefully give the listeners great insight about the upcoming matchup. And I hope today's episode provided that for you. So if you're listening, thank you so much. I hope you follow on Spotify. Please follow on TikTok. Please follow on Instagram, on YouTube as well. Subscribe, do all that, repost. Please, please, please. I don't usually beg, but I am. This is a great product, and I feel like more people should be able to listen to it and need to listen to it. So yes, please repost, tag, subscribe, like all the content on Mose Knows, and I cannot wait to continue to bring y'all this type of coverage each and every week. So thank you again for Dion, for Corey. That's me. I just spoke a third person. Wow, I just spoke a third person. That's
thanks.
So...
Here, I got thanks for Corey. Yeah, thanks for Corey. Thanks for Mose.
That's so cringe. That's so cringe.
Thanks for Mose and Mose Knows.
I appreciate y'all. Let's get out of here, man. Thank y'all so much.